Hello, everybody. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. The winding road to the Super Bowl continues here in the divisional round, where two teams look to take another step towards the Super Bowl. It's the Falcons going up against the Bears. The opening kick is straight ahead, so it's time to turn it over to my colleagues, Brandon Guyton and Charles Davis with the call. Gentlemen.
First opened way back in 1924, but renovated in 2002. There's a look inside venerable Soldier Field in Chicago. Ahead, we'll decide the second entrant to next week's NFC title game, as we've got a great one in store between the Atlanta Falcons and the Chicago Bears. Now a play fake here on first down. Oh, he's going to air it out right away. It got his man complete. That one goes for 38 yards. And the Falcons are going to get a first. A great job pulling that one in from a guy, as we know, who can really blaze. He's got a lot of speed.
And that speed can work for him so many different ways. Sometimes he just takes off and goes and just runs past people. Sometimes you get people to back off so far that you can catch everything underneath. But still, at some point in the game, you probably have to make some contested catches, right? Sometimes you have to go up and beat a defender for the football. He has that in his arsenal as well.
Showed it right there. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And Jones has it over the middle. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. And he's already got 2 catches on the opening drive. They know he's going to be a handful.
And sometimes you game plan naturally, and then you change your game plan. When he has the hot hand, you keep going back to him because he's running routes with confidence as the game goes on.
They'll look to throw here on first down. And this is caught at the 8. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives him a first and goal.
I like that one, partner. They go back-to-back with excellent gains. And really, it shouldn't be a surprise who they were throwing the ball to. He's their best guy.
Yeah, we knew that they would get him involved early. They're doubling down on getting him involved early.
Don't be surprised they'll come right back to him again. They haven't shown the propensity to be able to stop him.
A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
You know what the key to a good screen pass is, don't you?
Bet you're going to tell me. Good blocking?
Well, good blocking eventually. But first is good acting. You want to let the defenders go past you, leak out to whichever side or even in the middle where you want to set up the screen, and then you do your blocking. How about the read, though, by the defensive guys? They weren't fooled at all and actually ran with the lineman to where the play was and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
Looking to cash in on this opening drive. Here's 3rd and goal. They'll try and sneak it here. No gain on the play, and what to do now on 4th and goal.
No gain? Quarterback sneak? No gain? Aren't you supposed to get something out of that?
Yeah, needed a full yard there. It's a quarterback sneak. They try the sneak, but not enough push. He doesn't get in. And on the opening drive of the ball game, the defense comes up with a goal line stand. Very tough spot here for the offense to start. Throwing now, Cutler looks for White, but it's intercepted. It's Desmond Trufant, and he will bring it back to the 4-yard line. And the Falcons now making their way back out onto the field. And last time, they had it 4th and goal, rolled the dice, didn't get it. Now they've got to put that behind them, try to put together another drive.
A simple tip of the cap, a nod of the head to the defense. Congratulations, you got us last time. But you didn't hold us the whole time. We got down to position where we were able to be in position to score. Let's go ahead and attack again. Continue to have that kind of confidence. Not worry about the one play that didn't allow him to get into the end zone.
And this time, and he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Julio Jones from 4 yards out. And the Falcons have taken the early lead. The papers this week, it was all talk about how big of a game this was. Of course it is. It's the playoffs. It's the divisional round. but they handle it well. They score early.
They really did. Plenty of confidence exuded on that drive. No nerves showing. Terrific way to get things started. They are in control.
And he'll get into the end zone as the two-point conversion is successful. Now after the touchdown, it's Bosher to kick it away. And a short kick, taking it about the 16. Then he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And last time, one-play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a one-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give him a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, you got a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
And the quarterback, he's got some big threats at wideout.
And they seem to get bigger all the time, don't they, Brandon? Every time I look out and watch a game, we're getting these bigger, more
pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack. Vic Beasley in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year. Now Cutler on 3rd and long. It's brought in by Kevin White. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. NFL teams last year a little under 50% on 4th down conversions. This is a bit tougher. 4th and 4. They'll indeed go for it with Cutler. And they hit him as he throws, as this one's going to go straight down to the turf. Incomplete. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
Then confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. He was looking for Mohamed Sanu there. That'll bring up 2nd down. The starting 11 defensively for the Bears.
As Darius Slay continues to improve at the quarterback position, he may live up to his own nickname as the Slaymaker.
2nd down following the incompletion. Now back to throw. They'll set up the screen for Freeman. A solid gain of 15 yards and the stick's move.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Darius Slay with a pick. And he will bring it out past the 20-yard line. And now Chicago getting ready on 4th, didn't get it. They're lucky, though, because no points against the team on the board, but we'll see.
Yeah, a lot of credit to their defensive team. Aggressive on offense and maybe go for it again in a similar situation.
I was going to say maybe makes that offense feel good. But when you know you've got a defense make it stand.
You'll play a little bit better the next time you have the ball.
On the right side, this is Austin with a catch. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up 2nd down. Wide. 3 of them to the right side. Checks it underneath to Langford. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with it?
And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. Alshon Jeffrey, his 11th touchdown of the year. And now the Bears are within a 2-point conversion of tying up the game. They'll look to run with Langford. And he is not going to make it to the end zone. The defense stands tall, and they're going to hold on to their 8-6 lead. The Bears send the kicking team out there, and they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And they had a nice little drive going last time. Through the interception in the red zone. Costly.
Bad enough to throw it anywhere, but that drives coaches insane when they're thinking about, hey, we've got a shot at points already. We're already in a spot where you're thinking you got 3 on the board for sure, and to come away with nothing, that's a really tough one for them to swallow.
Yeah, will they make up for it? It's a pickup of 14 there, and it'll give the Falcons a first down.
How many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? And
it's a fumble. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, and that could have been trouble. So they escape, so to speak, maintaining the football. Defensively, though, opportunity miss.
It definitely was, because that's all defenses talk about. Getting the football and either advancing it the other way or just getting possession and turning it over to their offense. That can be a little bit deflating. You're exactly right. A lost opportunity.
Call it a gain of 5. And that is going to set up a 3rd and 1. Still in search of the first down after that last completion. And the Bears in the nickel. No, wait, they're in the dime. 6 DBs out there on 3rd.
Could play an exotic coverage.
It's caught. Jones. And he has the first down yardage before they bring him down right at the 45.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this is picked up by the Bears. And they'll start with great field position at the 41-yard line. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis back with you as it's Bears football here to begin quarter number 2. They've got it 1st and 10 following the fumble recovery. Pitch comes to Langford. He juked him, and he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Time to tighten up the seatbelt just a little bit, partner, because that was a safety that crashed in there and made that play behind the line of scrimmage. How about that pursuit?
Here's Cutler to throw. Dumps it into the flat to Langford. And he's brought down. 17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue. It's a first down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
There's so many things that go into playing the position of linebacker. Some of them are actually subtle. Doing the drill work that you do all the time in practice and carrying it over to the game. Get rid of blockers and get to the ball carrier and knock him down for a loss. While we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore, I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion, and both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. And no signs of the field goal unit. They're going for it on 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job here of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And last drive, obviously not what you're looking for. You've got the lead. You've got to protect the football.
So in other words, someone
under pressure, and they got to him again. Leonard Floyd in there to get him for sack number 9 now on the year. They were in a 4-3. What's the responsibility of the ends versus the tackles there, Charles?
Well, most of the time when you talk about the ends, they're your pass rushers. They're the guys that you turn loose to try and get to the guy who's going to throw the football. The tackles, usually more of the run-stuffing variety. But the way this game is advanced, you're wanting a little bit of everything out of all of your guys. But let's just go ahead and break it down and make it simple. The guy who's the right defensive end versus a right-handed quarterback, that's the blinds.
Devontae Freeman, they're not going to get him. And he takes this thing down deep into Chicago territory. A huge play there on the screen pass. And even 80 yards. They'll look to throw now on first down. On the screen, this is Coleman. And they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
Looking to throw. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. Give him 6 on the play, and that is going to set up 3rd and goal.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. An encroachment penalty here, maybe just a mental lapse, partner.
Sometimes you have to just watch the football. Make sure it's snapped before you're jumping.
They'll look to run with Freeman. And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. They went backwards 5 yards there on 3rd down to break up 4th. Well, they're going to try this thing. They're at the 5, 4th and goal. They're going to go for it. We'll see. Run, probably pass to both in the arsenal. They'll set up a throw. This will be caught just inside the 10. The running play does not work from the 5 on 4th and goal. And the Chicago defense able to come up with a goal line stand. Onto the field now come the Bears. And on the last drive, they were in field goal range. They just opted not to kick it, didn't get it. How does that change the mentality this go around?
I don't think it changes much for the head coach because this is what he preaches all the time. Attack at all times in any spot on the field, and he likes touchdowns, not field goals. Now, your field goal kicker, you got to make sure you nurse him through and say, okay, don't worry about it. When we need you, you got to be ready to go. And the team, of course, loves to see points on the board. So let's see if it changes a little bit if they're in the same spot again.
Yeah, we'll see what the decision is here if they get to that spot. Now Cutler on 1st down. He completes it right side to White. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. Well, the offense lining up 1st and 10. Brief break in the action here. Back with more NFC playoff action after this. It's a 5-receiver set. 3 to the left, 2 to the right. Now Cutler looking to throw.
I remember growing up playing basketball. My coaches always talked about communicating on defense, making sure you talk on defense, know where your screens are, know where the cuts are coming from, who has who. Well, guess what? It's the same thing in football. Even though there's more noise out there, you can hear all the screams of screen, screen. This defense, the bench, everyone let them know what the play was, and that's why they were able to react and knock the ball away. It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he sensed being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. Jeffrey with a catch left side. A gain of 13 and also a 1st down. And they're going to hurry back to the line now. Alshon Jeffrey so dangerous even when a defender's near him.
He's got such a big body. Ability to run.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And the return stops just a little bit shy of midfield at the 48-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. They had a great drive going last time. They were moving the ball, and then all of a sudden it just stalled out. So we'll see what they can do here, Charles.
And it's always easy to say.
And he is going to be wrapped up and slung to the turf. Leonard Floyd in there to sack him, and that is 10 for him now on the year. And now the Bears going to signal for another timeout. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. They come up in an offset eye. They'll drop to throw. And unable to connect on the long pass. It falls down incomplete. Certainly some contact there, and that's why there's a penalty on the defender for pass interference.
So hard to time it up for a defender to hit the receiver when the ball arrives. Got there a little bit early on that one.
They run. Devontae Freeman trying to run inside, but nothing there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. So the D-line's going to spread out. Again, they'll run with Freeman. And he'll be taken down at the 34. Calling about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up.
We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. First level defensive line, second level linebackers, third level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a first level run, and it was stopped by a second level player.
So 3rd down now. They need the 27-yard line for a first. Let's go! He'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. And you really can't pin that one on the quarterback, Charles. The O-line, they've got to protect that.
And they know it. That's their meal ticket. They want to take care of the big guy behind them. In this case, they let him down.
So it looks like the offense isn't going anywhere. They're going to go for it on 4th and 7. Back to throw. And he's got Sanu. And he's brought down after a good gain. 22 yards on the pickup there. And they're able to pick up the conversion here on 4th down. He'll look to throw. This will be caught at about the 3. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. They'll look to throw again. That'll be incomplete as the clock will stop with 14 seconds remaining.
All defenders get tired of hearing about their lack of hands and why they're playing defense instead of offense. But in this situation, it was the hands that made the play. Batting the ball away on an attempted touchdown pass. Excellent job. Way to knock it down.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. The Pro Bowl wideout Julio Jones is intended receiver. And that brings up 4th down.
And that was a nice play. He knocked it away, but obviously you want the interception in this situation. You want to take away any chance and they have any decision to make on 4th down. But things happen so quickly in the end zone in this compressed area of the field that you're just happy.
And he will take it in for a Falcon touchdown. It's their quarterback in the final seconds of the first half. And the Falcons will extend their lead.
That's one of the better examples of clock management I've seen. Whittled it all the way down just about and still put the ball in the end zone.
Well, just a methodical drive and something really to take into the lockers here. But he is not going to make it into the end zone. They stop him short, so they'll add only 6 as we come up on halftime. Now after the touchdown, it's Bosher to kick it away. This is Micah Hyde. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And now the Bears coming out as they get ready. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. So we've come upon halftime here in this NFC Divisional Round matchup as we send you down to our EA Sports Studios in Orlando where we find our man Larry Ridley with our halftime report. So both teams have their marching orders and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. So here's the Bears offense now as they get set to start this 3rd quarter. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. On second down, Cutler to the sideline, and oh, a nice catch there. Made sure the feet were inbounds, and they were.
Can you do any more work or make it more dramatic for not much gain than what we just saw there? Did you see how his toes got down? Tip-tap, got him down. But what did he get out of it?
He sold the sizzle. He just had no steak.
I mean, was it 1 yard?
Yeah, plays like that, you at least expect a first down. They're just 1 yard. So the offense has it 1st and 10.
What a catch, and one-handed, and I'm starting to lose my awe about the play, and maybe I shouldn't. How much of this is the player? How much of it is the glove?
Well, those gloves, they do have a little grip to them,
They
don't
get that
they?
little extra tackiness to them now, and I know the guys in the NFL, the competition committee, some other places, they're talking about examining those gloves to see if they're having too much of an effect on the game.
8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
Not too many more ideal situations at 2nd and 2 in order to try and pick up a first down. They ran it and picked it up.
On first down, it's Cutler. It's grabbed over the middle by White. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. Kevin White, his 14th touchdown now on the year. And now the Bears are within a 2-point conversion of tying up the game. And they will line up now for the 2-point try. Cutler now to throw. And this one incomplete. So they went for the 2. They don't get it. So the defense gets the stop. I know it's situation to situation, but who has more pressure there, offense or defense, when they go for 2?
I truly believe it's the defense has more pressure because the offense has an entire playbook wide open from the 2-yard line. You can run it, you can throw it. So defensively, I think most teams are going to be aggressive and force the issue and try and bring pressure.
A look at the offense now here, coming back out on the road for their first possession of the second half. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last time when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They may have to make a few additional changes along the way because I'm sure the defense will make some adjustments, but they've got to have great confidence having scored the last time out.
They come up in an offset eye. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And both guys were there, but it falls incomplete.
And when all else fails as a defender, when you're not there in the coverage, your best friend is exactly what we saw there. A big play shot taken by the offense. Unfortunately, it ended in a big drop.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. They'll set up the screen for Freeman. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. It's a gain of 5. And that's going to make it 4th down.
They dialed up the screen pass on 3rd down, and for a second, it looked like it was all going to come together, and they had a chance to pick up a first down, but the defense got there and finished it off.
They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. They're indeed going for it as they look to throw. And Jones has it over the middle. And he's got the first down yardage as he brings this up to the 47. I don't know if I agree with that. I guess they don't care if I agree with that. But, boy, you have to be surprised by that, right?
I definitely was surprised that they decided to go for it in this situation. But they must have either felt like they either had a great play call on or they're trying to show extreme confidence.
Here we go now. Now a play fake here on 1st down. He'll rifle this one deep. And this is caught at the 20. Touchdown, Falcons. Mohamed Sanu with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Falcons will add on to their lead. And there they got him the ball. Just get it to him, let him do the rest.
You know, he probably said that to his quarterback as he broke the huddle. I like the play call. Just get it to me. I'll take care of the rest of it.
Helping out his rack, right? RAC.
Run after catch, and he loves that, and he's going to carry that in at contract time.
Now after the touchdown, it's Bosher to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Bears offense now heading back out onto the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
He's going to loft one deep left side here. Alshon Jeffrey, the intended receiver, and it's third down.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed to get it done.
On third down, Cutler. He hits White, complete. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. First down and 10 now for the offensive group.
Well, the advantage has certainly shifted to the defense as we began that third down play, and they found a way to foil it and pick up a first down.
Third time's a charm, right? 2 incompletions. Had to have it on third, and they got it.
Yeah, they stuck with it, weren't daunted at all, and picked it up.
And they're going to speed things up here.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
To throw again is Cutler. And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
They're going to hurry back to the line now.
Wow, I can't help it. When I see Jay Cutler throw the football and throw one like that with a big completion, I can't help but be impressed.
His arm strength, such an asset. Huh?
It really is, because it gets him in trouble sometimes, but I think it gets him out of trouble more often than that.
Jeffrey reels it in over the middle. A good pick up there of 20 yards.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Cutler. And his throw is incomplete. He was trying to get it there to Vernon Davis, the tight end. And it's third down. It's been a pretty long drive. This will be play number 9. And they need 10 yards out of it on third. Again, it's Cutler. And Jeffrey's got it. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. Alshon Jeffrey, his second touchdown of the afternoon. And now the Bears are within a 2-point conversion of tying up the game. And they'll get set here looking for the 2-point conversion. And they'll turn to the power game to try to get in. And he will bowl his way in there for the 2 points. Nothing separating these two teams on the scoreboard as the kick's away here. It's a very short kick taken by an up man. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
And it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Leonard Floyd in there to drop in for his 11th sack of the year. The defensive line disperses a little bit here, maybe expecting a pass. They'll set up to throw. Connects with Sanu right side. It's an 8-yard pickup, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation. Still in search of the first down after that last completion. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. The left side completion to Jones. It's a gain of 9 yards, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. They're going to try and throw. It's caught. Jones. And he will have the first down as he's brought down up near midfield.
We always hear about guys wanting to make plays that quiet a crowd.
Yeah.
After that one.
Here in the 3rd quarter, they were hoping to get the stop, get the football back. Not the case.
What a completion on a 4th down play.
Green 39! Green 39!
So here we go, 1st and 10 now. Again, he'll drop to throw. They'll set up the screen for Freeman. And he takes this one down all the way near the 30. So roughing the passer, 15-yard penalty.
And you notice how the offensive line responded. A couple went to check on the quarterback, and a couple went to the guy who hit the quarterback. No one likes to see their quarterback hit.
On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. That is caught. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. Mohamed Sanu with his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Falcons have broken our tie. All right, now a big 2-point conversion attempt still to come. Now the pitch to Freeman. And he is into the end zone. The conversion attempt is good, and that'll give him an 8-point lead here in the 4th. Now after the touchdown, it's Bosher to kick it away. This will be taken about the 12. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. Last time they were out, they scored. Still trailing here, though, so some work to do.
But it's okay in terms of mindset. Because they scored the last time, they're not quite as worried about being down on the scoreboard because now their confidence is a little bit higher. They feel like they've got something going, and they feel like they can attack again and put more points on the board.
Are you scoreboard watching if you're the offense, or are you just focused on this drive?
We wouldn't be telling the truth if we said that they didn't scoreboard watch. Everyone does it to some extent, but you've got to set it aside right now and just focus on this series. That'll take care of the scoreboard if they punch it into the end zone.
And he'll be hit as he releases it.
A little hit on the quarterback, knock him to the ground, make him think a little bit, hopefully knock him off his game, especially in a game of this magnitude, this tight in the 4th quarter. Got to feel pretty good as a defense.
2nd and 10 now. It's Cutler. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
I know the initial focus was on how far that pass was downfield, but how about the coverage on the play? Able to stay with him, get his hands where the receiver's hands were going to try and catch the ball, tips it up in the air, and knocks it away.
And now another one thrown incomplete. One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. Here we go. It's Cutler on 4th down. He's got time in the pocket. And no, it's incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Falcons defense stands tall. They'll get the football back. Now the Falcons offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense. Obviously, they'll be looking to stop them from punching it back in the end zone.
It always is punch-counter-punch, isn't it? And which team has the advantage? Well, let's just go back. Last time on offense, they rolled downfield, got into a good rhythm, You can see a little more bounce in and out of the huddle. You can see the sideline really get into the game. So defensively, you're thinking to yourself, how do we take that away from them? How do we get the advantage back? Let's see what they come up with. I think pressure is always the first way to go.
You love pressure.
I love it.
That's caught inside the 20. Touchdown, Falcons. Julio Jones, 59 yards. And the Falcons will extend their lead.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his second touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. Uh-oh, flag comes out here. This is going to be roughing the kicker.
When you're going back there on the kick block, you've got to go to the right point. That didn't happen, ran into the kicker. The penalty flag had to come out.
So let's try this again as they come to the line to go for two.
Let's go.
They'll try and throw for it. That's caught at the one. And he is not going to be able to break free as they wrap him up right at the line of scrimmage. And the try for two is going to come up empty. Now after the touchdown, it's Bosher to kick it away. Fairly short kick, taking it to 14 here. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And last time out, went for it on fourth down, turned it over, gave them great field position, turned into 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do in the chain of events, right? The decision to go for it on fourth down, it caused every bit of it, but it showed confidence. Hey, I've got confidence in you guys. Go pick it up for them. Didn't happen. Also showed confidence in the defense. They didn't pick up their end of the bargain, so now they've got to come back out and start over and rebuild that confidence.
Surveying the field. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And they went for a big play through the air on second down. Couldn't connect. Now it's third.
Well, the obvious goal is to try and score a touchdown, but at the least, adding to a pretty big yardage total for his intended receiver there, huh?
Yeah, well, when you've got a guy over 150 yards, keep chucking it deep to him, I guess.
Yeah, no doubt about it. You can get it to him short, and he can make plays that way, but I like what you just said. Throw it to him deep and get it in a big chunk.
But incomplete on that try. So he fought off the tackle, and that effort gives him the first before he's brought down. And in a two-score game, obviously, every play, every third down, like we saw there, magnified. Big pickup.
It was a huge pickup, but they really...
And he's going to be intercepted a third time. A great read, and it's picked off. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops. Now the Falcons offense, they get ready to head back out here.
Well, you're trailing. It's the fourth quarter, and you've got to throw the football. But the defense knows this, too. So they're just going to sit back, bring in an extra defensive back or two, the old nickel or dime strategy, Brandon, and wait for you to put that bad boy up for grabs. And this one winds up being intercepted.
20 yards on the pickup there. And that leads to an Atlanta first down.
At halftime, you had to feel like the defense had to be in a good position. They had to feel good about themselves. They'd had this guy boxed in all game long, but after that run, that might be the breakthrough that he's looking for. Now they may have some difficulty dealing with him the rest of today.
Alec Ogletree. So 2nd and 9, the defense looking to put them in a bad spot here.
Green 39. Green 39.
He'll look to throw. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he's going to get this inside the 30. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains. And defensively, they just don't seem to have much of an answer for this passing game.
Not at all. Look at the confidence that's exhibited here. With that type of a lead, clock on their side instead of...
Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. They come out here in the I. This is Freeman on 1st and 10. And he stopped immediately there. And now the Bears going to signal for another timeout. That's going to be their second. They'll be left with one more plus the 2-minute warning. And we'll be back. Possible run anticipation. Here's the D-line sandwiches together. On 2nd down, Freeman. Back-to-back 1-yard runs here, so that leaves him with a 3rd down and 8. Now hang on here. Timeout called by the defense. That will be their 3rd and final stoppage, as they'll only have the 2-minute warning now remaining.
The Bears have put an extra defender in the secondary on 3rd down.
Yep, they're in the nickel. They'll drop to throw. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off by Micah Hyde. And now off to the races down the right side. And they will score a pick-6 for a Bears touchdown. Ah, yes, the old tip drill works to perfection there.
Ah, you're bringing back great memories. Used to love that drill. And a lot of times in practice, you work on it, not just one tip, but multiple tips, just in case the ball stays in the air for a while, to have an awareness and the ability to go up and grab it, and then you want to get some blocking support and end up in the opposite end zone.
In that tip drill, what do you yell?
For us, it was Oski. Okay, Oski was an interception.
For different teams.
Different teams have different ways of doing it. I've heard bingo, jackpot. The worst I ever heard, though, was Frankenstein. You don't want it to be a
too many syllables.
Yeah. You want to get it right down and go. Oski is really the preferred word.
Oski. Here comes the Falcon offense now as they get set to take over here. And last time, decent field position through the pick-6. Obviously costly.
But they can't afford to just bunker in now. All right? Good field position means go ahead and attack on offense. Try and press the advantage a little bit. They just have to be better with the football on this possession.
So that didn't bother you too much last time?
No, because it's exactly what you're supposed to do. You can't have good field position, not try to take advantage of it. Sometimes the defense makes a good play, too.
Time is starting to run out, really becoming a factor. We'll see if the defense can get the stops they need to get the ball back to the offense. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Now they go screen. It's complete. No gain on the play, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. So nothing there on the screen that time.
That means all that great acting they tried on offense went for naught, didn't it? Because you have to try and influence them. Make them think that you're doing something else. Make them think that they can get to the passer by letting them by and then setting up the screen and getting downfield. Didn't happen at all. Give a lot of credit to the defense for not tumbling to that one.
And that one good for 16 yards and a first.
And that pickup of a 1st down, that's going to leave a mark because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
That's so frustrating. Defensively, you're a play away from getting that football back here down late. Tough.
Now they've got to find a way to create a turnover or takeaway. Otherwise, this one will probably get away from them.
Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. Now it's Freeman. And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Tough day. Tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down.
Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19. No. Check. Watch him now, Barney. Hurry up. Here we go. 3-19.
That one looks like he'll throw here. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Today's NFL, these big guys are featured receivers. They move them all over the place to try and find good matchups. And they had one. They were just unable to complete the pass.
And you would have to think an obvious passing situation here on 3rd and 9. They come up in an offset eye.
Green, 39. Detroit. Back 99 Philly. Here we go.
On third down, nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. And now a timeout defensively by the Falcons. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. And a great spot to start this drive from here. He'll look to throw. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. Jeremy Langford, the one he was trying to get it to. And now it's second down.
And there's a good opportunity. Just want to ride there. A drop pass. I guess that's why they call them running backs and not catching backs.
Back to throw. On the right side, this is Austin with a catch. 15 yards through the air and a first down. And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry-up. He's back to throw. This will be caught at about the 3. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. Zach Miller in the final minute. And the Bears are an extra point away from tying the football game. And now a critical extra point attempt here. And oh, he missed it. No good. And they'll remain down by a point. So they'll get a chance right away to atone for that crucial extra point miss. This has to be perfect. And this is going to be covered up by the Falcons. And that should just about seal it. They had to go for it with no timeouts remaining, though now. This one's as good as over.
They gave it an effort. They tried their best, did everything they could to try and get the ball on the onside kick. You're exactly right. They had to try it. It was their only option. And now this game is done. Just take it, kneel, and call it a day.
They'll eat some clock with Freeman. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. Well, a well-executed blitz, no doubt. Great job by the linebacker. Maybe the quarterback, if he could have seen that, could have audibled there.
Yeah, he needed to be in a different play because that one just meshed perfectly for the defense. All the gaps were filled except for the one the offense really wanted to run through, and that was filled by a big man wanting to make a tackle.
And he made a great tackle. Freeman again. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. It's a loss of 4. Now third down.
Yeah, let me puff out my chest a little bit, even though I'm not rooting for either team. That was a really nice defensive play. It's awfully fun to watch, even in an offensive game.
Well, I know at points in this one you wanted to close your eyes because of all the points that were being put on the scoreboard. You're a defensive guy, but it was a fun little track meet, wasn't it?
It was, and you know the people who really enjoyed this game? They're the ones that like going to batting practice at the Major League Baseball parks, right? Seeing the 14-11 game, that sort of deal. That's right up their alley with what we saw in this one.
So that's a wrap. For Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. With that, we say so long from Soldier Field.